Sex Education. It's another sort of relative newcomer, Laurie Nunn, who's written this. It follows the exploits of a character played by Asa Butterfield, the son of a famous sex therapist played by Gillian Anderson. It starts on the first day of his being at sixth form. He sort of ends up in the family business thanks to the sort of entrepreneurial skills of the college bad girl, Maeve. She's sort of the financial aspect of it, sees that he has actually got this gift for therapy really and helping people along in their relationships. But I suppose the thing going forward is the fact that Otis, the Asa Butterfield character, starts to develop feelings for Maeve. That's the other side of the story really.
The students at the school need your help and we need their money. I'll deal with the business end of things and you can do the therapy.
Therapy?
Yeah, sex therapy. Like your mum.
Ah, sex therapist. This could be awesome. It could be popular. I might have a mild to moderate crush on Maeve.
My pubes are out of control.
I wish I could be a normal kid with a normal dad, with a normal dick.
What kind of man do you want to be? What kind of man do you want me to be, Dad?
You can't choose who you're attracted to. You can't engineer a relationship. I don't believe in love. You are who you are. Don't let anyone take that away from you.
I still think it's weird a teenage boy's a sex therapist.
I didn't like it, and I'm annoyed I didn't like it because there's so much possibility there. And again, I'm in the minority. Every other review I've seen, bar one, I think, really it says it's the next big thing and it offers something different and something exciting. First of all, I found it really disorientating because I've never seen a show set in the UK that feels so not like it was set in the UK, if that makes sense. I got hung up on daft things like, why is nobody wearing a school uniform? Where's this supposed to be? Where is the school? I thought the dialogue in places was horrendous. The guy who we find out has impotence through smoking drugs, he just refers to Asa Butterfield's character Otis as new kid or, you know, whatever all the way through, and that really rankled at me. And it did. I got to the end and it was a struggle, and I did have that moment of wrestling again of, should I watch another one? Should I give this more time? It's only the opening episode. But no, I don't think I should really. It should have gripped me then and there, and you two had the option to watch more, so did you take the opportunity?
I did, because I knew you'd only watched the one, and I thought I'll soldier on and see how far I go. And I actually did 3, and actually it does improve, and that's primarily thanks to the character of Maeve, who is by and far the most sort of compelling and intriguing character. I thought the performance by Emma Maki as Maeve was brilliantly done. I mean, in the second episode, she finds out she's pregnant. In the third episode, she goes for an abortion, and all that is really well done. But I would agree with you, the sort of the Americanization of it. I mean, of the 3 of us, you're the only one who has actually been to school in both the UK and the US. So you would say that this feels much more like US.
It almost felt to me, and I know it not to be the case, but it almost felt to me like an American had written it and thought, I want to give it a bit of a twist and set it in England. But actually, it wasn't that. It was an English writer writing it with a lot of other English writers in a writer's room. And they called it in the press release that I received a British love letter to the American high school comedy. But it just disorientated.
Because you've got this this sort of massive swimming pool in the school. I mean, it's the sixth form, so you know.
But they've all got like leather jackets on, like Zach Morris out of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, and I found the episode length 50 minutes. I found a little bit too long as well. If it had been half an hour's, and everyone sees different things in different shows, and as you say, sometimes you have to persevere with them. Because I know last year. Everything Sucks, we were more into it than a lot of other people, myself and you, because we persevered to that 4th episode. But the episodes were a lot shorter, so it was a lot less time to commit to. And I didn't find Asa Butterfield a particularly compelling lead. I really enjoyed him in other things. There's a film called X and Y, which he's brilliant in, playing this like autistic maths genius. But here, he didn't feel that compelling. Gillian Anderson seemed to be in an entirely different show to everyone else, playing it really,
she
really
was in
big.
Wanderlust, is
Yeah,
what she was
really
in.
big as the mum, and they tried to give her a bit of sort of backstory later on in looking how the parents' relationship separated and things like that. Stephen, how far did you get on this?
I got the same as you, Matt. I got to episode 3.
Yeah.
And I'm completely in agreement with both of you, as the tone threw me off at the beginning, the whole aesthetic of the show, the vibrant colours, the lack of uniform. And then I thought it was American, and then when they started speaking, I was completely threw off. And by the time I got to the end of the first episode, I didn't see myself carrying on. And then I just decided to give it another shot. And at about maybe halfway through the second episode, edging into the third episode, I really did start to enjoy certain elements of it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Matt. It's the Maeve character that I was definitely most drawn to, and I quite like the dynamic between her and Otis. You're right, Gillian Anderson stuff did feel like it was in a bit of a separate show. Occasionally it felt like remember, this is also a comedy, so they just have her in it for the sake of it. But the drama elements of it I thought were quite good, and if you sort of accept that it takes place in a not realistic version of England or Britain,
Like
then
it's a Black Mirror type.
Exactly, yeah.
Universe.
Perfectly described, exactly. Yeah, then it's interesting, but I do feel like that they were aware of the fact that this, even though it's a British, I was going to say drama, but dramedy, I feel like they were very much aware of the fact that this was going out worldwide on Netflix on the same day, and they were appealing more to like an American audience more so than just us.
And it is, you're right, that sort of imbalance of tone that you brought up between the drama and the comedy, but the dramatic elements work a lot more than the comedic elements. I mean, as you say, that second episode, I agree with you, where things started. The scene that worked the most there was where she took that pregnancy test and then she just looked at herself in the mirror and went, "You idiot," and left the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And I thought that worked really well. And the stuff in the abortion clinic, and you say the relationship there between Otis and Maeve works really well. But the concept of him constantly having to give therapy to people, no matter where he is, always. And I didn't believe his friendship as well with Eric. I didn't feel like these are two characters who would be friends, because Eric is ultra annoying, and I didn't warm to that character at all. And Otis is much more sort of chilled out and everything, and I just didn't believe that these two people would be friends, even in this weird high school alternate universe.
I think as it went on, I believed it a little more, but I completely agree with you. They didn't strike me as two people who would have been best friends.
I knew the premise was, classmate becomes sex therapist to his peers, but it took ages to get there.
It did.
And by the time it got there, I was like, I don't really care.
That's the thing. It isn't for the most part him doing it for financial gain. It's mainly for like just randomly giving this advice to people who he meets at the house party, and then he meets at and again, it's got that issue for me of being very middle class again.
Oh, we're in the minority, because as I say, a lot of people I respect, follow on Twitter and converse with, have the complete opposite view.
Maybe they've watched the entire series, and because I think each episode, Stephen, did get better, so by the end it may have been, but I just think there was too many sort of things working against it for us, that even in the moments where we went, oh yeah, this is a good show, and as I say, I hopefully Emma Maki, who played Maeve, will see in more things, because it's a bit like
the styling of her though. She looked a bit like the girl out of is it Suicide Squad or whatever? And
Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
a little bit, yeah. But I think as you sort of see her backstory and things like that, I mean, she's lives in this static caravan on her own, and she reveals that her mum's a drug addict and things like that. You get a bit. You see that this
it does sound like it had more heart in the rest of it than the one I saw.
Yeah.
But equally, it doesn't make me think, oh, I'm going to then persevere, because I watched it. If we hadn't been watching it for the podcast, I may not have even got to the end. It was such
it was a slog. I agree with you. I did it in sort of sections. I think I did like 3 sections together, and
I've never seen a show where I didn't know where it was, and I didn't know. I only knew what time period we were in because of some of the references they used. But it could have been the 80s, it could have been the early 90s, could have been the 70s.
It was really jarring, the Americanization of it, when someone like Joe Wilkinson popped up in the third episode, and I'm like,
and Shabnam from EastEnders,
and Cindy.
Did the sexual content of it affect you in any way? Was it too sort of explicit? I mean, we sort of knew what we were getting with the title like that, but were you ever sort of perturbed or put off by it, Stephen, at any point?
The first episode, it was quite explicit, and I don't mind things being explicit if it needs to be explicit, but I don't think it needed to be like that.
I think the opening scene being two people, having sex was a bit much. I think almost the sort of approach to it was almost sort of childlike, which I think was an intentional thing. Without all that sex, it could easily have been a CBBC show in some respects.
Sex Education worldwide on Netflix. Watch it now and let us know either via Twitter at Custard TV Pod. Let us know what you think, because it'd be interesting to see it from the other side and how long you managed to stay with it. Sex Education on Netflix.